Frank's Laboratory.
Hello and welcome to Frank's Laboratory. So we're going to talk about Bellwright today. This is the game that I chose over a litany of other games. You're basically a settler who was witness to a prince's murder, and the princess saw you, so you had to flee your homeland. You ending up in a country where it's controlled by a Lord Ashbourne, and he is basically taking control of all the neutral settlements. Your job is to try to convince all the neutral settlements to rebel and help you in defeating Lord Ashbourne. I chose this game after I reviewed several others, and I was looking at PAX Day, which was an early access title. It is very early access, like beyond early access, so I said, no, I'm not going to play that. There are quite a few other games that were like decent choices, right? But take Soul Mask, for example. Soul Mask is in the same vein as like what you would consider Valheim or something like that, but I just didn't like the aesthetic. It's like Aztec Power Rangers. I mean, I'm sure it's fun. There's another game that I decided to include in my choices, and that was Aska. Now, Aska, I mean, it looks great. It's a wonderful game. I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but there's just a lot of high fantasy, and from the reviews that I was reading, it looks a lot like Valheim, but the thing that really turned me away from it was the fact that you're constantly under attack and you're constantly doing resource management to the point where it seems like a lot of stress. So I decided to give Aska some more time as well before I decided to break down and choose that. Another game that I thought would be good was Medieval Dynasty, and I was looking at this game and I was like, all right, Medieval Dynasty, this looks really good, but everything that I saw, it seemed to me like you're always just kind of running around with a bow, right? Like Bellwright can be kind of the same for a while, but eventually, you end up getting plate and you end up getting swords and two-handed swords, and yes, I mean, it seems very similar, but it's in that first-person aesthetic too, which it seems like fun, but it's not what I'm looking for. Enshrouded. Nothing bad that I can say about Enshrouded. I just didn't like it. It's a co-op survival action RPG for 16 players, which is very impressive. There's multiple builds that you can do for your character, and I mean, it looks like fun. It really does, and I might try it at some point, but I wanted something a little more relaxing, less taxing, and something that I could just like pick up and enjoy at my own pace and enjoy my progress as I played along. Bellwright was exactly what I was looking for. I mean, it just has like a choices that you can make to make the game however you want it to be. Like you can turn off the raids. You can make it just like a chill experience where you just manage your village and you don't have to worry about anybody attacking you, and you can just be on the offensive whenever you want to, right? I didn't turn the raids off. I love the raids, but Bellwright, it's not a perfect game. I mean, it still has like AI voiceovers for a lot of the villagers. When you're getting quests and everything like that, you'll hear the weird AI voices and you're like, it sounds like I'm talking to somebody on TikTok, right? But besides that, once you get through the rough edges, there's a lot to appreciate. I mean, the game has your villagers are, for the most part, completely automated. You don't really have to go in and micromanage anything. You can manage your village or outpost remotely from the end menu, which is very nice. There's a long stint of time where you'll probably be running around with a bow and arrow like you see now, and that's just because the types of food that you get initially in the beginning of the game are just so bad, right? So your health bar and your stamina bar are so small. So until you really get like a plank shield to start, you really don't even want to like get up and try to get into somebody's face, right? That being said, you can do like a lot of blocking with whatever weapon you have, like say even the simple axe or sword. You're able to it has this directional combat system where you're able to block and fight based on the directions when you're not using a shield, and it's a lot of fun. It's like a timing matching mini game within the combat, which is very interesting. It's easy to understand but hard to master. That's what I would equate it to. But the thing about Bellwright that I really appreciate the most is the fact that I could just run around. I can hunt deer. I can hunt boar. I could work on my village. I don't have to go constantly fight and go crazy out there. It's not like an extraction shooter or extraction looter like what you would see with Dark and Darker, right? Where you're just like consistently stressed and you play until the end of the wipe, and eventually you just end up losing all of your stuff because the game wipes. So it's just one of those situations where I wanted something that would give me a break from that kind of game where I could keep my progress, have something that I would be able to build up every day and log in and be like, yeah, okay, there's something that I can do. There's something more that I can do, and this is my progress so far. The delivery system in the game can be a bit difficult to understand at first, but basically what I was able to do with a couple of Steam guides that were easy to go through and read, I went through these Steam guides and I was like, okay, it makes a lot more sense. The villages receive the item, right? So you type in the item, you set up what you want your village to receive. It's not what you're sending out, it's what you're receiving, right? Once you get around that, it's a lot easier. So the company that made Bellwright, Donkey Crew, they made a couple other games that they just kind of like dropped, right? So I mean, there is a little bit of risk involved with accepting Bellwright as the game that I like the most over the other ones right now. But from what I've seen, there's been consistent updates and there has been support for the game. I don't think that this game is just gonna get dropped like a couple of the other games that they ended up dropping. Their publisher Snail Games, which you might be familiar with, Ark Survival Evolved. Bellwright's got kind of a play at your own pace and kind of a screw around and find out aesthetic to it, right? Like if you try to speed run the game and you try to free all the neutral villages as quickly as possible, you're probably going to be dealing with raids and reclamation parties over and over and over again. There's some things that you can do though, like you can post guards in your outposts or your main village, and it will decrease the raid timer. You can adjust the raid timers. This also has modding support too, so I mean you can go online and download mods for this game. I don't know if they're compatible with the multiplayer features within the game. I'm not sure if everybody needs to have the same mod installed, but the mods are there. There's even visual mods as well. So that's another reason why I was like, okay, even if the developer were to, stop support or put it in maintenance mode, at least, there's mods out there that I could download to continue playing if I wanted to keep playing this game. The game Bellwright, you have to free those neutral villages. And the way that you do that is by going into a neutral village, earning their trust by doing quests and turning in items, and then eventually you will kill the bandits or brigands that are within the village, and you'll build something called a bell tower. Once the bell tower is built, a reclamation party will be sent to that village. You knock out that reclamation party before they get there or as they get there by commanding your villagers that you have set up to help you fight. And once that's complete, you're able to trade with that village, which is really nice because you can do daily trades for a lot of equipment and items that you might have difficulty finding depending on what the neutral village has to offer. Either way, Bellwright's really scratched that itch for me for a game that's kind of relaxing and can be, fast-paced and aggressive at the same time, depending on what I want to do. Looking forward to playing it some more. I'll be live on Twitch. See the description below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the lab.
Right Laboratory.